One. And we are officially live. Woohoo! Yeah, baby. Yeah, Friday. Let's go.
Do it. Yes, sir.
This is Mike Wall, and I'm joined by, this is Mike Wall with the Agent Revolution podcast. And I'm joined by Miss Nicki Gregory and my man, Nick Krem. Man, we are about to drop some knowledge on y'all. Today, we are talking about building a business with a higher purpose, man. And Nikki, I'm so glad because I'm so glad to have you on because of the mastermind and what we just went through and getting to hear your story and seeing how passionate you are about that, because I know that if we can get other agents in our industry to connect to something like that, they also can build an amazing business, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So we're going to dive real deep today into that, man. And some of you are probably asking the question, well, what does it mean to build a business with a higher purpose? And I think, it means something different to everybody. Like that higher purpose, really, you're talking about getting a hold of your why, right? You're talking about getting a hold of that thing in your life that gets you out of bed every day, that drives you, something you can be passionate about, where you don't have to rely on willpower. You can rely on the power that event or that thing that it gives you in your life, right, guys?
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
So why don't we do this? So we can set the stage for what that means to our audience. Nikki, why don't you tell everybody what that means to you?
Woo. Here we go.
Over there. Okay.
All right. So, why don't we do this before we get started? For those of you who are new or watching for the first time, tell everybody first just a little bit about yourselves. And Nikki, we'll start with you, and then Nick, you can go next.
All right.
Yeah. My name is Nicki Gregory. I'm a real estate agent in the Panhandle of Texas. I run a team called the Red Door Group. Here we've been in business for about 4 years. I've been in the business since 2005, but I became a team leader then. So that's really, I have 3 kids, and that's really the gist of it.
Cool. Well, let's do this. Talk a little bit about. Here's the thing, man. Like this Agents Act thing. It's a newer thing in your life. I mean, to the respect of that, you've really kind of taken it to another level, like this year.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I think caring about something has kind of always been in your nature. But I really, what I want to know is like, so you've been in business for 2005, and we can do the math. You've been in business for a little while now. So when did you actually connect to the fact that you needed something more than just the day-to-day grind of real estate?
I think about 10 years ago, I had learned about what a big why was, and was pretty excited about that. And like teaching other people how to find their big why. I was the person in my office who would put together like the vision board, parties, and always helping. And I just wanted to motivate new agents that were coming in because real estate, it's a grind, and it's not always fun, and it's got days that are really stressful, and people burn out in that first year. So I really enjoyed just the message of teaching other agents how to find what that is in your life. Like you said, everybody's different. They each have a different purpose that they were put on the planet, and a lot of people don't even know what that is. They have a hard time even finding that, and I think that really comes down to just fear of admitting to yourself something that big. And so I liked helping people not just find it, but work through the fear of admitting that they wanted to do something that big. And it kind of just started with that. And then I knew that my big why ended up being through some relationships and some connections, helping with human trafficking victims. Mm-hmm. And so that kind of came through relationships that my sister, a mutual friend that my sister and I had, who is my age, and she was my inspiration. She went over there around that time, maybe a little bit before that. And she just went over there by herself, got on a plane, just went over and just started rescuing kids, like all by herself. She went by herself to find out where they were. And from there, she built an organization, and she just inspired me because I was like, I'm just over here just selling real estate. And I wanted to help her. I couldn't jump on a plane and just go live over there with her and go rescue the kids. But I actually, she and I became close friends just kind of over Facebook Messenger, and then started calling, and she would send me pictures of some of the kids that they were rescuing or had just rescued. And I tried to help support her in that way. And then also I was sending her, I started out just doing like $100 out of each of my paychecks, and started out like that. And then it just kind of grew from there.
Yeah.
I really just, as I was friends with her, saw how big the problem actually is. And it's just so big and so overwhelming that I just kept thinking, gosh, somebody's going to have, I didn't know if it was going to be the United States. Is it going to be Hollywood? Like, I don't know, someone needs to just organize a big group of people and make a dent, at least a big dent in the problem, you know? And so she inspired me also too, because when she went over, she said that she just kept hearing, who's going to do this? Who's going to do this? Somebody's got to do something. She was doing that beforehand. And then she just said, if it's not me, then who's it going to be? So she just jumped on a plane and went. And then a few years later, I was asking myself the exact same question. And then it just was like just hit me in the head one day. Like, that's exactly what she said to herself. And she ended up having to admit, like, if no one's going to do it, I have to do something. So then I found myself in a place doing the same thing, just kind of saying someone's got to do something bigger, like to fix this, to help in a bigger way. And then it just hit me, if I don't do it, then who's going to do it? And that's just kind of been one of our mottos now. So.
Yeah. And, you know, the funny thing is, like, that happens in our business too, right? We start expecting people to do stuff, and it's like, people aren't you know what I mean? So if you don't do it, the stuff usually doesn't get done.
Exactly.
And so for you, you know, one question that comes up in my mind when I hear you talk is, so there's definitely a difference in you knowing about something, or you having an experience through your friend, right? So your friend had a firsthand experience before you did. She actually went over there and she dove right in, and you know, she was committed at that point. And then you were connected to that experience through your friend, right? But what happens is you are connected on a different level when you actually see it firsthand. So talk to me about the difference when you heard about it from your friend and you committed to that $100 a month, but then the transition from that to actually seeing it firsthand and the impact that made.
So I would say that the initial impact of when we started in our friendship, where she was starting to send me the photos, okay, of these babies, like immediately after they've been rescued, or sometimes she would get intel photos and they just weren't in good shape, and just your heart just breaks. And at that time, I knew that my big why was to help her. So when I was getting those, it just became more urgent to me. Around that time is when I went to the mastermind in November, I think, and was inspired again, because I finally felt like I was making some connections, like connecting some dots. Like, I think this is the group of people that can help me, but I didn't know how to get from point A to point B. Like, I didn't know how we were going to do that. And then we did start working on that from there. Then that's when that's the first time I ever went there to actually see it on the ground.
Yeah.
And the difference was, the pictures, the photos that she was sending me also inspired me that, man, we got to get this where people can see it. Like, I could tell the difference in how I was responding, and I couldn't stop thinking about it just from her communicating and showing me what was happening and telling me the stories. And the more and more that we were communicating that way, the more it just felt more urgent. And so this wasn't something where I had kept saying, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, after I've built my business, I'm going to start donating a lot of money. It became more just urgent, like I needed to do something now, but I didn't know how or who was going to help me. I knew I needed a bunch of people because I don't have all the skills it takes to do this. But anyway, so when we went and we actually were on the ground there, it changed everything. It just became a thing of, it doesn't matter what we have to do at this point. It has to be done. And then I started to just realizing, man, I've been teaching people, build your business with a higher purpose, find your big why. And my skill set is not to go over to Thailand and go rescue the children, but I need to partner with her because my skill set is connecting with people of influence. Like I have a lot of friends that have influence, have a lot of connections. I have a lot of connections with people with connections. And so I just started seeing that like as a big machine that we could build and strategize, and partnering with her when she has the other skill set of rescuing them, housing them, educating them, clothing them. The only real big problem that she has in the struggle that she has is building the houses fast enough, because where she's at, just the area she's at, is 65 kids a day are trafficked in just her area alone. And she started saying to me, I could get them all, Nikki. I can get them all. I can't put them anywhere. Where are they going to sleep? So that was a big push as well, because I just thought, man, okay, we got to start connecting people together and get the right people and do something about that. That was the difference. Then you hit the ground. When we got on the ground and came back, that was only like a month and a week, something like that. Last minute trip there, and again, we saw things you can't unsee. It changes your entire mentality, way of thinking. I think everyone should take that trip, but you can't come back from that and be not motivated and not like, I don't care if I don't sleep, I don't care if I don't eat. Like it's got to happen. Somebody has to do something. So
what's really cool about the experience for you is that it creates this reciprocal effect, right? It's like a symbiotic relationship where it pushes you, and the more that the bigger impact that this why, your personal why, has on you, the more you're driven to succeed, not only in your efforts to raise money for that, but then also in your business, right? Because the more business you do, the more you can give back, and then it just it's this amazing loop that continues to feed itself.
Yep.
But I think the biggest difference I've seen in you since you've gotten back is the fact that, you've got everything so dialed in right now. Like, beforehand, it was just kind of, like you said, it was something, you talked about, and then now, especially ever since the mastermind event, you've got like all this different back end technology that people that people can get involved in to really kind of see this through.
Yeah.
And so, why don't you talk a little bit about that portion of it? And then we want to talk what we really want to do today is really be able to get the message out to get other people involved as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, as far as the technology go, and I think in this day and age, we can all agree that the quickest way to spread a message is through technology. So that's why when we were talking to Nikki at first about what we can do to help, at first we didn't really know where we could fit in. We just wanted to, it's my brother and I and our company, but we just wanted to help in some way. But what we soon realized is the quickest way to spread a message is technology. That's when we started using the tools that we've already built to help the message grow. So what we were able to do is we have a couple of different levels. And for everybody out there that's thinking, man, I don't know if I can afford to donate right now. Everybody, like, you have to be worried about your business and be worried about your own home first. We have packages starting at as little as $15 a month to start getting involved. But when you start getting up until, like, we have an ambassador program, which is $50 a month, and the highest level one right now, I believe it's $75 a month total. We created a tool to not only help spread the message, but to also help build your business as well. So I'm going to get into that a little bit. As far as we create complete landing pages for yourself and your business that coincide with the message that's going out as well. So what we allow people to do is essentially white label Agents Act when they're an ambassador. So you're allowed to white label it almost as your own message, as your own nonprofit that you're essentially like an ambassador. So at the end of the day, what we realize, and Nikki and I have talked about this as well, as far as we don't care if our face is around it or not. Our end goal is not to be the people who are in front of it and everybody in the country knows it's us. What we care about is making sure that we're able to bring in as much money as we can for the kids. And the way that we're able to do that is allowing other people to put their face on it and share it with their clients. So at the end of the day, what our technology allows people to do is not only share the message with more realtors, but share it with their clients and show their clients in a mobile, social, and friendly way using our tool to help spread the message to their clients as well.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And so here's like, I just had this epiphany because like, if you, to that broker, to that agent, or to that person in general who's watching this right now, if you don't have a why, well, here's a why you can connect to right away, right? And not only that, not only can you connect to this why, but you can make a huge impact. So why don't we talk about the different programs that you offer? What kind of, to that agent out there, or that broker out there watching, well, that's thinking, it's just $59 a month. What kind of impact can that really make? Like, why don't you tell our group what does that actually mean to someone over there?
So, okay, Nikki. So you're talking about what does it mean to somebody in Thailand?
Yeah.
Right, Nikki. I think this one's more for you here.
Well, what we're going to do is we partnered with two organizations. Number one is my friend who I was talking about. That organization is the Boots on the Ground organization that actually rescues, feeds, builds. They're building. They've bought land. They're building on that land. But like I said, she needs more funds to build more homes. We need to be able to make the land sustainable so that she can. They call it the land. I'm sorry. I don't want to say the actual name of it, but they need to make it sustainable so that, because what happens is when they rescue kids, then all of a sudden, each time they rescue a kid, their bills go up every month. So we're trying to help with that. It impacts the actual rescued child in a way that they're brought in. They're going to be put into a safe, like emergency home initially until they rescue, and they also heal, and then they also go and educate other people so that they don't keep selling their children. That's the epidemic, is the impoverished population that have no option but to sell their children, and it's just been going on for so long that it's just become a normal part of the culture, or just the way they do it there. So it does several things, I guess is what I'm saying, and it talks about that a little bit in our video. But number one, it rescues. They use the funds to rescue and then to take care of that child. They put them. These kids will be put into a family style home. The cool part is we don't have to figure any of this part out. Okay, so that's why it's a perfect, like you said, symbiotic relationships have been lining up all over the place for this. So we have her. She knows how to rescue. She knows how to educate the kids. She knows how to take care of them from in that realm. That's all her. We have another organization that we're partnering with called Kids Not Slaves, and they are to us, we say they're our differentiating factor from other people who are doing this, because they have the expertise of 10 years of what they do is they vet people who are doing this on the ground. So there's a lot of problems with people going and saying that they're helping victims of human trafficking. They go to different countries and really they're just on an extended vacation taking donations. And there's even worse than that. There are people who say they're doing that. They rescue the kids, and then they put them in a home. But actually what it is just another brothel that they're selling the kids out of for sex trade. And so they're taking the donations and then taking money as they're selling them. So this other organization, that's not us. We don't have that expertise. We needed to make sure that the money is being put in the right hands and being spent wisely, and that whoever's using it is being a good steward of the money that's donated. And so that we work with both of those organizations together. And then so the best way I know how to tell you is just this money, it's just going to change lives. I mean, that's the best way to put it. It just is literally taking kids out of a nightmare situation. These children, as they're sold, and then they're sold again and sold again. And eventually they're going to end up in what's called the red light district by the time they're 12, 14 years old. And then right around that age too, maybe a little bit older, they're going to end up with AIDS pretty certainly. And then they just don't live very long. And so, and it's, when you go down there, you can see that it's an epidemic. So the first day that we were down there, we went to the border and we saw where a lot of these kids are sold out of the border, where it's called Myanmar, right there. And they call it no man's land. And it's called that because there's no law. And you can see these little shacks lined up that look like maybe some people's homes, and they're not. They're fronts for the mafia to sell any aged child out of that. And it's right across the border. You can stand in Thailand just a couple feet away from it and look at it. And those houses are right there. And any man walking up and down right there is going to be offered any aged child, boy or girl. And they're selling them out of those little shacks. It's literally the most evil place on the planet. It's it's just evil, pure evil. And then right as you walk, if you keep walking down the border and you're passing military men that are just sitting there to get paid off, basically, and not talk about anything. There was a brothel that we walked past where an informant had told us 2 weeks ago there was a 14-year-old little girl chained in there, being forced to service men and not allowed to leave there. And then as we stood there and watched that, and you can see these longboats going back and forth to that brothel illegally with the military just sitting there watching it and doing nothing, and they're not ever going to do anything. And then they asked, okay, do y'all want to go down? Do you guys want to go down further and go see the children's brothel, which is like 8, 9-year-olds. That particular one was about 8, 9-year-old little girls. And you don't understand. Like, I knew what we were going to be going there to see, but when you're actually standing there and you're trying to walk towards it, it's just such a evil feeling, so oppressive, and just, it literally just makes you almost feel like you can't, like you're suffocating or something. So, that was, they have gone into, they did get actually a few little girls from that brothel a few months before we were there. So again, that's where the money is going. It's going to get those little girls out of those brothels. It's going to get them in a safe home. It's to get them medical attention, any kind of emotional, healing that they need to be able to be put into a family home. And then they're put into a family home where they have parents and siblings. And it's not an institution. It's not institutional. It's very warm and caring. And it's her goal to make them such productive members of society that they are so inspired that they come back and that they end up changing the way that, that the future of where that country is headed with this. It's her belief, and I believe her, that if you get enough of them, they can go change this, so.
Yeah. And if I can add something to that too, like you're saying, $60 a month might not seem like a lot, but I know somewhere in the video it talks about this world needs more good people to cancel out the bad. So a lot of times with a lot of different organizations, they set the bar at a point where you just can't shuffle out $300 a month to some places to go help out. So we're a firm believer at setting the bar at a point for all the good guys to be able to step forward and give to this cause. And what we give you guys in return is some technology to not only help you spread the cause, but to help you grow your business. So eventually you will be able to give more back to the cause. Yeah. But at the same time, at $60 a month, we found it's a way to all the good guys to come out and show that they're good guys. Now, it's not just about how much money you have. If you're a good guy, join the cause and be able to give back and show people. My money's just not like real estate agents sometimes get that perception of, all my money goes to the nice car that you just saw pull up in the driveway, or my big house. No, we want to show people that the money that we earned from you is going to a good cause. So at the end of the day, at $60, if those are some of the baseline ones, you can give more, and there's an unlimited amount that you're allowed to give. But at the same time, we want to show the world that there's more good guys than bad guys, and put it at a price point that we're able to do that.
Yeah. It's a great way to put it, man. Where are we sending people, like, if they want to learn more about this, guys?
Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah. So here's if you guys want to learn more about this, you can go to join.agentsact.com to see how you can join up. So once you go to that website, you're going to see the different packages that you're able to do. And like I said, if you want to make a one-time donation or you can have an unlimited amount of donations as far as like how much you want to, you can click the one-time. We have different packages built out, which allow you to get the tools to help you spread the message as well. So again, we have once you become an ambassador, that's when you get your own specific landing page. What's up, Bass? You get your own specific landing page that has your face on it that allows you to show people that you're the one giving back to this cause. Because at the end of the day, you want to show your clients that you're a good guy. Because again, like in that video, we want to show the world that there's more good guys than bad guys. So at the end of the day, we want to put your face on it. So those are the ambassador packages. So once you go to join.agentsact.com, you're going to be able to see the different packages and see how you can start getting involved. And like we said, $60 might seem like a lot, but when we add up all the good guys in the world, I'll tell you what, we're going to be able to make a big change.
Yeah. I want to add one. Can I add one thing, Mike?
Yeah, Nikki, go ahead.
So you were talking about the reciprocity, and we talked about this in Cincinnati, was the that book, The Go-Giver, and the idea of reciprocity and being able to, your your heart has to pump the blood in before it can pump the blood out. Your ears have to suck in air. Your lungs suck in air before they suck the air, take air out. So that's the idea of reciprocity. And we tapped into that because I had so many real estate agents. We were getting feedback from real estate agents, and I heard comments. Everyone has such a good heart, and they all want to give back. They all do. They're great people, real estate agents. So, and you talk to them, and they're like, "Yeah, I want to do that, and I have plans in 5 years, 10 years." Well, here was the problem. I'm looking at one area of 65 kids going every single day, and hearing over and over and over, 5 years, 10 years, 5 years, 10 years. We all know what happens with our 5 and 10 year plans. They just keep going 5 years out and 10 years out. Like then it never happens. Well, it's because we're busy. We can't stop what we're doing. And I had a comment from one agent who I really loved. Actually, this couple. It's a couple, but he had said, I can't take the mask off my own face. I'm supposed to keep the mask on my own face. I need to take care of my family, my responsibilities. Once that's built up, one day I'm going to do something like this. So then we just were really set then all of a sudden, not only do let's build something that everybody can get behind. It's a great cause. We know it's in the right place. They don't have to they don't have to figure all this out. They don't have to, put together the fundraiser at all. They literally can just plug into it, white label it. But then let's use the law of reciprocity. And on top of that, let's help them because we have some skills. And if everybody gets together and they're like, I don't know, and they're all putting their skill into one, plot here, then we can use our skills to help them build their business. And the law of reciprocity says, if I help them, because they're such good-hearted people that they're like, no, you don't need to feel like you need to give me anything for giving. And I don't want you to take away that feeling of giving. And we're like, no, we want to give back to you because we want your business to grow. We want to make you a community champion so that you in turn have more connections, more influence, and more money, honestly, to give back. And then we just keep going more and it'll just keep growing. Because right now I have over 40 agents that all have skills. So we're all going to be figuring out more and more ways to help each other. And so that we can get it to be a bigger impact and just to build. It just goes back to the one big fire, honestly. It's just.
Nikki, how can I show people the video that you showed us at the mastermind event? Is there any way for people to access that, or is that?
We'll put that link that Nick just gave you. If you click on that link, it's the first thing that plays right when it pops up. We put it right at the top, and then all the information is on it.
What'd you say?
So, go to join.agentsact.com, and the video is the first thing that you see there. When you scroll, you can't miss it. So you go to join.agentsact.com, and you're going to see that video that kind of explains a little bit more of the cause. It shows them about their trip to Thailand. I'll tell you what, I don't cheer up often, but that video, I almost can't get through it without doing it. So it's a good video. It really shows what's going on over there, and that's I definitely recommend watching it.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. This has been super insightful. And what's so cool about putting content out like this is that everybody wins, man. Literally everybody wins because even if you do, let's say you already have a why, but you want something else to be able to give back. That not only will help grow your business, but it will give you that peace of mind that you're continuing to make an impact on the world, or you're that agent or that broker out there who really hasn't tapped into what their why is. And, this is something that you could put in place to help, fuel that fire that you need in order to go out and not only make an impact in the world, but to be a successful agent or grow a successful business. So everybody wins here. I'm curious, and Nikki, let's start with you first. How can people connect with you directly if they have more questions about this that maybe they can't get answered on the website?
We're going to post an email on that website to send me. I was putting out my number, but I'm getting way too many messages to get. It's kind of pulling my phone up. That's a good thing. Good problem. So we're about today or tomorrow, we'll post an email on there for any questions about Agents Act, because I know I've had some people message me, hey, how do I build a house? How do I build an entire house? Well, that costs about 40,000 American dollars, just so everyone knows. And I've already got a couple people that are telling me that they want to do that, or they're going to put whatever, an event together, and they want to donate. We have probably 5 people so far that have said that their goal is $1 million each. Or so, we're not going to not take a donation. And so those are the packages for you to be one of our ambassadors so that we can help you build your business. And then beyond that, we'll get back to questions on that email if that works for everybody. And we'll actually post that link. I'll post the email under this video as soon as it's up and running. We're doing it right now, actually. So.
And Nick, clarify one more time the different packages that are available and the cost.
Yeah. So it starts off at $15 a month, and that $15 a month, it goes back there, but you'll also get a newsletter that you're going to be able to send out to people in your business and also to your clients that explain to us how much money was given to the cause, how many kids were saved, and homes built, or just everything that's going on. So you're able to send out to people and show them that you're involved in the cause. And then the next step is $50 a month, and that's the ambassador package. And the ambassador package when you get to technology that allows you to basically white label it as your own, and then also have another tool, which is our digital business card on top of that. And then the next level package, I believe, is $75 a month. And then once you're there, you're allowed in the Facebook group. We kind of let you know what's going on next, and that money goes to the cause. And then if you want to donate more, there's a one-time donate where you're allowed to set up the bar as high as you want and just donate as much as you want. So that's on the page as well.
Cool. And if people have questions as it relates to the technology that they can't get answered on the website, Nick, how can they connect with you, brother?
Man, connect with me on my Facebook here, or you can just go to nickkrem.com. Go there. I have a calendar, schedule anytime that you want. I'm always open to talk more about this. I have pretty flexible hours, as you'll see on there. Go to nickkrem.com, pick a time on my calendar, and we can talk more.
You could do that with mine too. Actually, mine's called nickigregory.com. So they can schedule a call with me on there. That's a good way to do it right now. She said, sorry, my admin just told me also you can email me at nikki@sellwithnikki.expert. That's just an extra email so it doesn't get lost in all my other emails for real estate. But
say that one more time, Nikki.
It's Nikki, Nicki, at sellwithnikki.expert.
Awesome, man.
And just so you guys know, when we drop Nikki's link in here too, I don't like using the two call to action. We're going to do the join.agent.com. That's going to be here. But we'll also show you what this technology that what we're talking about looks like. So if you go to Nikki's page, it's going to be her front page, which you can send your clients. And then when you scroll down, you're going to see the ambassador link, and it's going to take you over there so you can check it out as well.
Yeah,
and get that web link one more time, Nick. The web link, the direct web link.
Join.agentacts.com.
Okay, and that's AGENTACTS, right? Agents Act.
No S.
No S. Okay.
Agents Act, yeah.
Okay, so no S.
AGENTSACT.com.
Awesome, man. Well, listen, thank you guys so much for coming on. It is always a pleasure talking to both of you. I'm just honored to be able to be a part of what you guys are doing and helping you get the message out, because I feel it is so important. And not only that, I just feel like that it's such a valuable tool that if people get involved with, not only from the impact side, but also the direct impact on their business as well. So it's just really cool to be a part of this. And I just want to say thank you guys. And I'm anything I can do to help in the future, I certainly want to be involved in. So we'll put a bow on this one and connect here in the future.
No, thank you, Mike. We need more guys like you out there. More of the good guys.
All right. Well, you guys have a great Friday, man.
You too. Thank you.
Too. See ya.
See ya. Woohoo! That was good, guys.